Hey guys, Brian here. Welcome back to the shop. Today we're continuing on the 15-ton hoist project for the bridge crane. So I'm working on trying to get that going so I can get it up out of the floor and move on to the next thing. So I've got to get a piece of aluminum, get it drilled out, and then I gotta get it fitted onto the wheel hub. Got the wheel here, and I gotta put a ring in here to space it off for the smaller hand wheel to attach here. And see, I've added a locking collar. That's what keeps this from backing off, so that you can screw the screw backwards and not just have it screw off. Alright, so you gotta have a hole through this big enough to go over the hub of this. This is the adapter for the second chain wheel. So I decided to get out my big bit. This is a 3-inch bit, and we'll knock this hole through here nice and big and nice and quick, I hope. Cutting aluminum is about like cutting butter, so it shouldn't be hard. Let's get it. Alright, so I wouldn't say that was pleasant. Obviously there's a lot of stick out here and not a lot of super rigidity, but got a big hole in there pretty quick, so get this mess cleaned up and start boring. Alright, so we need to be about 3.375 for this to fit over the hub. So it'll take 50 thou bites. So I got my piece of aluminum board out to fit on there. Now I got to put 3 bolt holes in this to attach it to the spokes, and then it needs 4 bolt holes in the other side here for the hand wheel. Yeah, I got this hand wheel here, and it's going to bolt on here, something like that. Maybe we'll get it centered more, but anyway, let's get to marking this out and do some drilling and tapping. Okay, so just kind of lay it up here. And these slots don't quite come in far enough for the piece of aluminum that I had. So I guess I'm going to have to try to elongate these slots. Alright, so I've got my 3 holes drilled in here. Should be roughly at a 5-inch center if I manage to mark those out right, just using my micrometers. So what I want to do is take this aluminum block, I'm going to throw it back in the lathe and just put me a 5-inch mark on there, and then that'll help me to center it up on here, because this is just a casting, so it's not accurate, so I don't know exactly where center is. But it's not super critical, because I'll just turn it on the other side once I get it together, and then that way it'll be true to the axis. But I'm going to chuck it in the lathe, and we'll put a groove in it and drill some holes and tap them and get this attached. so if my guess is any good, that ring will line up and have something to center on. Alright, so it looks like it's pretty good on lining up on the line. See it in there. So now I can punch that and drill those, and I know that'll be pretty close to center. Alright, so this is not a terribly great setup here because I'm turning against this lock collar, keeping it from coming unscrewed, but doing that lets me run this like it's on an arbor, so I know it's going to be true that way. It's probably not off that much anyway, but why not make it as accurate as I can? So let's fire it up, and it's about getting this faced off true. Yeah, it would have had some whopperty doodle. Look at that. Much better. Let's see how close they are to our 2.5 inch center. That's pretty close. I'm going to say come just a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. Let me get this off here and drill and tap 4 holes in this. I like bore that out some more for clearance on that collar. Might go ahead and do that. So I won't be able to do that on here. But the center's not critical, it's just clearance. So I'll probably take it off and chuck this wheel and cut that out. Yeah, I'm not good finish, but it'll give clearance anyway. Mounted on these spokes, it's got too much vibration to it. It's not rigid. Alright, so I got my transfer punch. Just mark these holes. Get them drilled and tapped, and that'll be this other part done. Alright, so I've got everything finished up on this the way I want it. I went ahead and took a boring bar and went on the outside of that piece of aluminum to make it nice and true so it didn't look cobbled together. Got the 2-speed hand wheels bolted up. Got this where it'll unlock or lock. It's locked, unlocked, locked, unlocked. So this part's pretty well done. I was able to locate a bearing on eBay, a nice split pillow block. It's too short, so next thing to do is going to be to shim this up. We've got this fitted. Got a nice fit on there. No rock. Got good finish where the bearing run. And I've gone through my stack of materials, and all I've got to get the correct height is I've got this piece of tool steel, which this will be my 7-inch bolt down block. Now I wish I had a piece of 3/8 by 2, but I didn't have, but I had some 3/16, so just double that up. We'll drill and tap this block for this one to bolt onto, and then this one will bolt, and that'll give me the right height for the center line for this. So I'm gonna get some holes marked here and get them drilled and tapped, and when I get that done, I'll bring you back. So I figured some of y'all would probably get a kick out of this, since I don't own a drill press and I'm still not finished cutting these hemispherical plates. Decided to make a drill press here today, so what I've been doing, I can just take the drill, mag it down on this knife flat spot on the curt, and I can drill these holes out in these pieces without them all moving around. So this is my mini mill drill, I guess. Just thought y'all would like that. I gotta get these holes tapped. These other 2 holes need to be, and get this finished up and be ready to go put that together. Alright, take my drill press and put my holes through here. Put a little chamfer on these holes. Just break the sharp edges. Yep, I guess we're ready to go see about putting this together. Alright, so here we are. Get this kind of together how it goes. I'm going to have to figure out how to get this over to the welder to get my stop pawl attached. So we got this sitting up on the blocks, and I'm going to tighten this down. I guess it, let me know how the alignment is. If it locks up, I'll know that the alignment was not good, because this should be a real close fit. So I'm looking pretty good. The gap looks even. I got just a little bit of backlash. So let me get some bolts in here and see if this works. All right, it's together. It's all tightened up. It still turns. See the brake mechanism. This is lift, lower. And as soon as you put the brake back on, it's locked. But I gotta get this welded, and that means I'm gonna have to go get my little welder and drag it down here and get it plugged in. And then I'm pretty sure the leads won't reach over here. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this over to the door so that the welding leads will reach. So that's next. Then I gotta figure out how to get it back up there. Looks pretty good though. Well, semi-success. As you can see, the hoist is moved. Got the bracket welded in here for the stop. So that'll work like it's supposed to. And there's the hand wheel back on that hoist, so I could get this thing moved. So maybe tomorrow I'll be able to bring the forklift home from work and get this thing put up where it belongs, and then start doing some load testing on it and see how good a job it did of putting this thing back like it belongs. So that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. I'll catch y'all later.